good nap. So today I'm trying my hand at creating my first pattern for some shorts, and I'm self-drafting this pattern, just trying to figure out how to do it actually. And so I'm basing it off of these shorts that he has. These are some linen shorts from Parachute that Rodrigo really likes, and I just bought some hemp fabric, and so I'm going to attempt to recreate these shorts using that fabric, and switching out the waistband a little bit, but basically figuring out how to create a pattern for this. So I've watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to self-draft, and so I basically created two pieces. I have the back of the shorts pattern and the front of the shorts. So with these two pieces, right now I'm currently washing the fabric. I always forget that you need to pre-wash fabric, especially like linens, cottons, and I guess this hemp, just to account for shrinkage, because the last thing you want to do is like create the shorts and then they shrink in the wash. Because for my first pair of shorts that I ever made, I guess these are the second pair, I forgot to pre-shrink the fabric, and so I don't know if this is like a cotton, I don't know if they shrink, but I think they probably did a little bit. My very first pair definitely shrink. So yeah, so those are in the wash right now, and I have my pieces in this pattern. I accounted for the seam allowance, so I made some notes here, and I also accounted for the band up top as well as the hem. So hopefully we've measured everything correctly. I feel like a large part of sewing that I'm learning is just making sure you do all the math right and kind of like account for things ahead of time, which isn't really my forte. In design school, I feel like I kind of just like winged things and they kind of worked out, but yeah, less so with sewing. So I have that, and then got this free pocket pattern from one of the YouTubers that I follow, and so I'm going to add this pocket in to the shorts. Okay, so since I last filmed, I have created, I don't even know, there's like an official term for like basically a mock-up or like test version of the shorts, but I've kind of made a very scrappy version of the shorts to test out my pattern, since I've never really made a pattern and I don't want to cut into the nice fabric and have it accidentally just be a total dumpster fire. So I used my pattern and created this like a test, and this is just made out of like some scrap bed sheet, but basically wanted to see how like the general fit was for Rodrigo. But basically the feedback that he gave me was like, I think the length is pretty good. But he said that like this crotch area was kind of tight, and I'm trying to figure out if I need to extend here or only like in here. But looking at some of my other patterns, like ones I've gone online and bought for shorts, like for myself, the pattern it looks like for this part, like the crotch area, goes out more, and looking at my pattern that I have, it doesn't as much. So I'm thinking that hopefully the inseam is fine here, but I'll just need to have more wiggle room in this area. So let's draft that. So now I have drafted, using some trace paper, a new version of the shorts pattern. I've basically extended this part of the shorts, both in the back, this is the back piece, both in the back and the front. And so, yeah, hopefully this works out. I don't really want to make another test because, one, it takes a hot second, and two, I don't have any more scrap fabric. So we might just wing it and hope that it works out with like the real fabric, which could be regrettable later. But you know, that's how I got through my entire industrial design major, winging it, and it kind of worked out, so we'll see. We're gonna try. So here's the front pattern. I added about like 1 inch extra here, and then here is the back pattern. I had about like 2 inches to the crotch area. I made sure that these two lined up as well as the side seams. This could totally turn out terribly, but you know, we're just learning. And so I have to accept that some things might just be an actual dumpster fire. But, you know, it's all part of the process. So, let's try it out. So this is the fabric that Rodrigo got me while he was in Portland. He went to like this boutique fabric shop called Bolt Fabric, and this is 100% hemp in this like really nice dusty kind of like pinkish mauve color. But I really like it, and I'm super excited to make a bunch of stuff with it. This piece of fabric is so big. I also just like don't really know how to go about cutting what I need off of here because my desk is just not big enough, but we'll figure this out. Okay, so I just watched a video on grain lines because I always see them on my patterns, but I didn't really fully understand what they mean. Now it makes a lot more sense with like the give fabrics and everything. So if I'm understanding correctly, this is the selvage, and so the grain line, to make sure these pants don't like warp in different weird ways, I want the grain line this way. So I think I'm gonna lay this out like this and then cut out each of these pieces. And I'm really realizing that I need to get like paper weights, because the only things that I use as weights are my phone, my water bottle, and whatever weird knickknacks I have around. But I feel like it's so haphazard. I need to just get like some actual real weights to keep the fabric down. I now have all of my pieces cut out. So I have the 2 back pieces as well as the 2 front pieces, and then I have 4 pieces for my pockets. So we are good to go with all this cut out. I went to Joann's the other day, and something that I always forget when it comes time to sewing is having thread that matches the fabric. For the first few things I did, it was like I would just use white and black, which was easy. But then I was like, oh shoot, I actually need the right color. So I went to Joann's and got this color. I've got everything pinned together on both the front and the back, as you just saw. And so now it's time to finally get sewing. I'm so excited, but I'm nervous because I hope that these turn out well. So now I've got the center seams of the front and the back together of the short. So I'm now going to attach the pockets. Okay, so here I've got the pockets on either side, and so I'm going to sew along here and get those attached. So here, see my seams are pressed open for the pockets and the center seam. And now I'm just gonna attach both sides together. So I just mentioned that I was gonna attach the two sides, the front and the back of the shorts together, but I actually found a serger on Facebook Marketplace, and the lady who I'm buying it from, I'm picking it up this afternoon around like noon or so. Right now it's like pretty early in the morning, so I'm actually going to hold off on attaching the two sides because the next step is to overlock all the edges or use a serger, and I haven't had a serger up until now, but I got a pretty good deal on the serger, so I'm really hoping. The picture had thread that it came with, so I hope it comes with thread, and then I have to figure out how to use a serger because I've never used one. But if I can figure it out and use a serger on this pair of shorts, I feel like that would be really cool and just like make them extra nice for Rodrigo. So I'm gonna hold off and pause where I am now, and we'll hope that I can make the serger work for this project. If not, worst case, I just use a zigzag stitch and finish off the edges that way. But if we have the opportunity to use a serger and try it out for the first time, I'll try. So we'll see. So it's later in the day now, and I got the serger from the lady that I bought it off of Facebook Marketplace from, and here she is. I had to go to Joann to get the spools of thread, which I actually thought were going to come with it, but didn't, and I figured out how to thread the whole thing. But right now, what I'm currently working through right now is trying to get the thread tension right. And so I'm going through and like using these scrap pieces of fabric to test out the thread tension, because you kind of have to adjust like every single knob. Since there's like 4 pieces of thread, you gotta adjust all the different knobs. So I've been doing that for, I don't know, the past like hour or so. I think I'm getting close, but still not quite there yet. And I really want to make sure I get it right before I, use it on my real piece. It's so hard to like figure out exactly when it's right. I'm just trying to like go off pictures online, but I don't really know. I think I'm getting closer, but I'm not like 100% sure. So it's been a couple of days since I last filmed anything. I finally got the serger, I think, to the right thread tension. I keep like playing with it back and forth, but I think I've finally gotten to a good place. So I've tested it with this fabric, which is the one that I'm sewing the shorts with, and I think it looks pretty good. It's white, but I mean, it's just going to be on the inside, so it shouldn't show. But here is the aftermath of all of my tests. I was testing with this like scrap fabric. The one thing I'm just a little nervous about is that because the serger, like, of course, cuts the fabric as it goes through, I'm just like nervous about like accidentally like just going off the rails and it cutting off parts of the fabric that I need. But yeah. So I'm ready to try it out on the real shorts and hopefully get this whole thing rolling. And let's see if we can finish the shorts today. Okay, first one done. I didn't film it because I was like, I don't need the extra pressure. But first, little pocket one done, and I didn't completely mess it up, so that's exciting. Cool. Okay, now just gotta do it on the rest. Cool, so I got one whole side done, and I just did this curve, which kind of threw me off a little bit, like at this part. You can kind of see it's like a little weird there, but all in all, not too bad. And now I've just done this nice little top stitch on each of the pockets to kind of like secure it down. Okay, well, I ran into a little bit of a roadblock. I broke the needles in the serger. I guess going over this part, it's like pretty thick, and the needles just straight up like broke in half. You can kind of see they're broken. That's great. I guess I'm gonna replace the needles, but I hope they don't break again. Yikes. I didn't even think this is not even considered like thick fabric. But let's see if I can fix it. I don't know. How does that even happen? Hello, it's now a couple days later from when I last filmed. So I can't even remember what the last thing I filmed was. But basically, everything was going smoothly. I was so excited. Got the serger up and running, and then I was serging like the crotch area, and both needles on my serger broke. Like just straight up broke. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that piece of fabric, because I layered like 2 pieces with the seam allowances, I've since now learned like a tip and trick, but I think it was too thick right there, and so the serger just completely, like, the needles broke. And then I went to replace the needle, which I was like, okay, fine, and I forgot to put the presser foot down. Left needle instantly bent, and from there I put another new needle in, and then the serger just like was clacking, not working, and I spent like the next, I kid you not, like 4 to 5 hours troubleshooting. I rethreaded it, and then I was like using the crank handle to see, and like the needles kept hitting one of the loopers. I had to just walk away yesterday. I had to walk away like 2 days ago because I just could not do it. And I was like, I need to take a break, clear my mind, do something else. So I came back to it yesterday, and by some miracle fixed it. I was so happy. I thought I had just like ruined the serger. So that was fixed. And I continued on these shorts, and I didn't want to film because I was like, okay, I have enough stressful things already. I don't need to add filming to that list. But I finished off all of the inner seams. This is where everything went wrong. You can see it's kind of like bunched up, and I've since fixed it. I like put one seam on one side and one on the other so they wouldn't exactly like stack. And then I hemmed around the pockets, serged around the pockets, and I finally put on the waistband. And so, turn it inside out. This is what they look like. I'm super happy with how they came out. I was working on them last night from like 9:30 p.m. to like midnight, and Rodrigo had already gone to sleep, so he couldn't try them on, so I was like trying them on, trying to see if they'd be a good fit. But he tried them on this morning, and luckily I think he likes them. I'm gonna put that clip in right here.
Moment of truth, Amy. Oh, they're nice. They feel pretty good, actually. Surprisingly. Oh, way better than I thought they would feel. The material, anyway. Yeah, they look good.
Yeah?
Yeah?
They fit good?
Yeah. They do. So now all you have to do is just do the bottom?
I just need to hem them, but I was trying to see how much.
No, they're actually
how much I should
perfect.
hem. I know they're like pretty right where they should be.
Yeah, they are pretty right where they should be.
Well, so I'll just hem like a tiny bit.
Nice, thank you. Look at that, I got something for on her birthday she gave me.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks. What's your gripe? Your one gripe.
The pockets are tiny.
Yeah.
They're like very tiny.
I'm sorry, they're girl pockets.
No wonder my phone fits in it, but
Hey, perfect. That's all you need.
now I can't stand like this. Feels funny.
Are they good enough to wear in public?
Yeah. Are you in my face?
I said, are you gonna wear in public? And he said, only if they look good.
I wouldn't say that. Thank you.
The last thing I need to do is to hem the bottom of the shorts. They're still raw edges, but it turns out the length was actually quite perfect the way it is right now. So I'm gonna just try and hem it as little as possible. Just like that, the shorts are complete. My first shorts for Rodrigo. I'm so excited. This is how the bottom hem turned out, which I had liked it to have been a little thicker, but I didn't want to make it too short for Rodrigo's legs. So duly noted for next time to add some extra length. Overall, I'm so happy and proud, and I'm excited to see him wear them. This is now, I think, like my 5th pair of shorts that I've ever made, and I'm really enjoying making shorts so far. Tops are a little bit more intimidating, personally, so I haven't quite delved into that yet, but I'm hoping to be able to explore some dresses and cute like tank tops in the future, but really happy with how these came out, and yeah, hopefully Rodrigo wears them. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Final product.
Yeah, they feel good. They look good.
Yay!
They look really good, actually.
You should look in a mirror.
Well, I don't need to. I can see it right here. Good job.
Thanks. They feel good?
Yeah, they do.
Not too tight?
No. They don't feel tight at all.
Good. Yay! Success!